But it's important that when you get into politics, Dave, you lead by your values and convictions. Yes. We've always been clear, even from the inside of the Conservative Party of Canada, we work to amend that constitution to make it more democratic for conservative voices to come forward, those voices who believe that life starts at conception and ends at natural death.
It's my body, my choice when it comes to things like killing an unborn child, but it's your body, my choice if it's taking a vaccine or putting a mask on your face. So it's a little ironic to see them here waving these signs saying my body, my choice, because at the end of the day, it's not your body.
Well, you know what, folks? For so many politicians, they don't dare show their face on the Hill during this day. For some reason, a pro-life march, that's like the third rail of Canadian politics. But I came across a couple who did come to Parliament Hill. It's Jim Karahalios, the leader of the New Blue Party of Ontario, and of course, Belinda Karahalios. Hey guys, what brings you out here? I thought, like I said in the preamble, this is like a political third rail to show your face at a pro-life rally.
Well, that's what many say, Dave, and those are the excuses. You know, working from the inside, the culture's against us, but it's important that when you get into politics, Dave, you lead by your values and convictions. Yes. We've always been clear, even from the inside of the Conservative Party of Canada, we work to amend that constitution to make it more democratic for conservative voices to come forward, those voices who believe that life starts at conception and ends at natural death. We've been punished in politics with retribution for holding those views. The mainstream media has often excused the retribution leveled against us as saying, well, they're too conservative. And now we've got a New Blue Party of Ontario, and we are proud to say in our mission statement that life starts at conception and ends at natural death, and we are open to those to run for our party who believe in those views. And we have 124 candidates for this election, and the best candidate is Belinda Karahalios up for re-election, who fought a couple of years ago to stop a bubble zone from getting put in place by the Ford PCs in Kitchener, Dave.
And you know, Belinda, to build on what Jim just said, what I see back in vogue all of a sudden with the counter demonstrators here, in terms of the abortion issue, is my body, my choice. That seemed to go into hibernation the past 2 years when people were being forced to take an experimental vaccine for COVID. And if it didn't accept that so-called choice, you were economically disciplined. In other words, you were fired without benefits. How do you make sense of this?
Well, I don't think you can make sense of it, can you? I know you and I have spoken about that before, how it's my body, my choice when it comes to things like killing an unborn child, but it's your body, my choice if it's taking a vaccine or putting a mask on your face. So it's a little ironic to see them here waving these signs saying my body, my choice, because at the end of the day, it's not your body.
And Jim, the Conservative debate, the second one, aired last night. We found out that only one of the six, namely Dr. Leslyn Lewis, is unabashedly pro-life. Do you think running as a federal Conservative, it's a prudent strategy to be pro-choice or pro-life?
It's important for a politician to stand up for what they believe in, Dave. Yeah. And it's too bad in 2020 when Erin O'Toole and team kicked me out of the leadership race. It's too bad that Derek Sloan focuses attacks on Leslyn Lewis. She's not perfect, Dave, but she would have won if Derek Sloan threw his support behind Leslyn Lewis.
Oh, do you think so?
Oh, well, she only got 80% of Derek's down ballot vote. And she just fell short on that second ballot of beating Erin O'Toole. If Derek Sloan had given an endorsement to Leslyn Lewis instead of firing on her, she would have beat Erin O'Toole. And she's not perfect. Certainly she has views on Paris Accord and green energy that I don't agree with, but she certainly would have been better than Erin O'Toole. So good for Leslyn for standing up. I hope that she backs up what she says in her voting record in the legislature and parliament, the way Belinda has on the provincial level with her voting record on these important issues, whether it's pro-life issue, critical race theory, and so on.
You know, and Belinda, speaking of what Jim just referred to, not coming as advertised potentially, I think that's a fair criticism to make of Premier Doug Ford, your former boss. I want to get your insight because you were kicked out of caucus. Last week, we went to the kickoff of the election, Ford Nation. I've been going to these events for 15 years, even to the private residence of the Fords. And we were told, as was Joe Warmington of the Toronto Sun, somebody who I think has given the most fair coverage to the Ford family in 2 decades, we were told to get out of the building or face arrest. What's going on?
You know, I think we've all we've woken up, right? 2018, we thought we were going to get this conservative with Doug Ford, and that's one of the reasons why I ran with him, right? Because I thought that, hey, he's talking about transparency and accountability and free votes and all the things, axing the carbon tax, which he didn't do. And I found out really early when I was with the PC party that he was not conservative. And after I got kicked out because they tabled that dreadful anti-democratic bill, the Reopening Ontario Act, which is essentially the lockdown bill, and it just got worse. And it's unfortunate that they're not letting you in, because I remember that at one point that Doug Ford was saying that they would come into the Rebel studio and do interviews, and it's one of many promises that have been broken to not only you but to Ontarians everywhere.
Folks, summer will be here before you know it, so why not switch around your wardrobe? Why not go to rebelnewsstore.com? That's rebelnewsstore.com. We have a whole bunch of new t-shirts and sweatshirts and ball caps. Why not wear your politics on your sleeve and support Rebel News in the process? Thank you.